This is Ann Peterson. I'm a student at Brigham Young University, Idaho. This is a 4-part video series on marriage. All references and information are taken from Successful Marriages and Families, Proclamation Principles and Research Perspectives by Hawkins, Dolehite, and Draper. Copyright 2016, Brigham Young University. This is Part 2, The Healthy Relationship. This utilizes chapters 3 and 4. Foundational processes. Foundational processes are actions that couples take in relation to each other that helps their marriage flourish. We're going to talk about different foundational processes for an enduring, healthy marriage. The first foundational process is a personal commitment to the marriage covenant. God is part of your marriage. This foundational process has 3 parts that help to show your covenant commitment. The first part is intentional personal dedication. This is about deciding to sacrifice for and organize your life around your spouse. It also means that you're going to change any and all of your behaviors or attitudes for the good of the relationship. This might involve learning to resolve differences in a better way, overcoming tendencies toward being impatient, listening, moderating unrealistic expectations, spending evenings alone together each week, or resolving personal problems. This is not about losing who you are, which we'll talk about in video 4. This is about working together with your spouse to create a committed, enduring relationship. The second part of this foundational process is exclusive cleaving and unity. We are commanded to presume the equality of our spouse as we approach the marriage altar. We're both on the same equal plane. We then hope to deepen that vision of our spouse's equality in the work of the marriage that is procreation, parenthood, cooperation, communication. Given that we believe that Adam and Eve lived this law, a marriage reflecting the equality of the spouses is the ultimate traditional marriage, being equal partners. The Lord declared, "Thou shalt love thy wife with all thy heart, and shalt cleave unto her and none else." President Spencer W. Kimball taught the words "none else" eliminate everyone and everything. The spouse becomes preeminent in the life of the husband or wife, and neither social life, nor occupational life, nor political life, nor any other interest, nor person, nor thing shall ever take precedence over the companion spouse. And the third part is practice spiritual patterns. Practice your faith together. Go to the temple together. Talk about your faith. Have discussions with each other about what you believe and the things that are hard for you to understand. The second foundational process is love and friendship. We know that spouses love each other, but husband and wife have a solemn responsibility to love and care for one another. The Lord commanded, "Thou shalt love thy wife with all thy heart." Now that applies equally to husbands and wives. In commenting on this, President Ezra Taft Benson said, "To my knowledge, there is only one other thing in all of Scripture that we are commanded to love with all our hearts, and that's God." Think about what that means. Parents are not commanded to love their children with all their hearts, though they do. But marital love, we are commanded to love with all of our heart. True marital love emerges from profound friendship. That is where it begins. Happy marriages are based in a deep friendship, a mutual respect for, and an enjoyment of each other's company. You should enjoy each other. There must be room in your marriage for the dreams of both the husband and the wife, and sweet encouragement from each other to follow those dreams. How do we nurture love and friendship? Get in sync with your partner's love preferences. Understand what they like and don't like. Talk as friends, not just about the business of living together and having kids together or problem solving or your job. Just talk as friends. Respond to bids for connection, a gesture, a touch, a look, an expression that just says, "I want to feel connected to you." Respond to those and set goals for couple interaction. Make time for couple interaction. My husband and I, when we first got married, we made a goal that we would spend 45 minutes every single day, talking to each other, just talking to each other, not figuring out what we needed to do the next day, not making lists, not recounting all the things that we needed to make sure that they knew about our kids, but talking, just enjoying each other. And 20 years later, I'm super happy, and we still have plenty to talk about for 45 minutes every single day. Remember that an announcement of, I've had a bad day, can be met with, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hug them. Have them tell you about it. Don't say, ugh, you have no idea the day I've had. Make an effort to do things together. Make your bed. Read the mail together. Make dinner together. Work together. At the end of the day, have a stress-reducing conversation that just involves listening and validating. Do something every day that communicates affection and appreciation. And keep track of how well you're connecting emotionally. Don't be afraid to make enhancements to that when it's necessary. The third foundational process is positive interaction. This doesn't necessarily mean that everything you do needs to be no negativity. It just means that the positive should outweigh the negative. We shouldn't be arguing all the time and never validating, never telling each other something that we enjoy or appreciate. And positive interactions don't necessarily even have to be complimentary. They could just be mutually joyful. The fourth foundational process is accepting influence from your spouse. Accepting influence refers to counseling with and listening to, respecting and considering their opinions as valid as your own, and compromising to make decisions better. Couples should share influence in all family affairs. We believe that men and women are equal. Equal is not the same. We don't believe they're the same, but we believe they're equal in blessings, in power, intelligence, wisdom, dignity, respect, giving counsel, consent, agency, authority, spirituality, virtue, gifts, equal in temporal things, and equal heirs of Christ. Elder L. Tom Perry stated, "There is not a president and a vice president in a family. We are co-presidents, working together eternally for the good of their family." In other words, they're on equal footing. They plan and organize the affairs of the family jointly and unanimously as they move forward. So how do we accept influence? How do we accept influence from our spouse? We turn to them for advice, be open to their ideas, listen and actually consider their opinions, learn from them, show respect during a disagreement, recognize points we agree on, compromise, show trust, and be sensitive to their feelings. A power outcome scale has been developed that assesses the distribution of power between spouses. Agreeing with the statements on your screen suggests an unequal relationship, while disagreeing with the statements indicates an equal partnership. You may want to pause the video to assess your own relationship. The fifth foundational process is respectfully handle differences and solve problems. How do we respectfully handle differences? How do we respectfully deal with this? Well, 1, prevention. Have couple counsels. Think before there's a problem. How will we get through this hard road if we have to? Eliminate destructive interaction patterns. Don't criticize. Don't show contempt. Be careful not to get too defensive. And definitely don't stonewall. All relationships in your life have rules. You may know that they have rules or you may not. I like to call these rules overt rules versus covert rules. An overt rule is something like, you may not speak while the teacher is speaking, because this is a rule that they tell the students in school. A covert rule might be something like being careful not to mention a sports team that your father dislikes because it will upset him. We just all know we're not supposed to talk about it. It will help you to respectfully handle differences and solve problems if you can try to identify some of your relationship's covert rules and make them overt, to actively talk to each other about the way that you'll talk to each other. You don't want to overdo this, but to do it a little bit and say things like, one of my husband and my overt rules is that we have what we call a do-over. So if I tell my husband something and he isn't as excited as I wanted him to be, I'll say, do-over, I need you to be more excited. and then I'll tell him again. And when he's excited for me, this is a symbol of his love and devotion and affection for me. He's not pandering to me. He's truly excited. He just needs to know what to give me. Another way to respectfully handle differences and solve problems is to calm yourself first. Make sure that you yourself are calm before you try to go into this conversation that could upset you. Also, bring up your concerns softly, gently, and privately. Do not have these stressful conversations in front of other people. Respectfully handle your differences privately. A marriage of equal partners is also one in which partners help one another in their stewardship. Indeed, all are obligated to help one another as equal partners. This assistance includes help with housework and childcare. President Boyd K. Packer has said, "There is no task, however menial, connected with the care of babies, the nurturing of children, or with the maintenance of the home that is not the husband's equal obligation." Likewise, women assist their husbands directly and indirectly with the burdens of supporting a family. Make sure that you talk about, openly, overtly discuss what your roles in the family are so that you don't resent those, so that you can have the best possible chance of having that healthy, enduring relationship. And I promise you, it will be better for it.